I'm Quinn McClinton, and you're watching Elegance on 18 Wheels Big Rig Spotlight.
The Hendrix are here. Okay, Mrs. Hendrix, welcome.
Hi.
How are you guys doing?
Pretty
Dominic, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Take a seat over here. So I'm really glad you came out here because I know we got a lot of time left, but that lot of time is going to turn into short time really quick. So you know, on your design, we obviously have a couple things change as far as the door is concerned, and then we have a revision to make on the top cap to lighten up the colors on it, make it not so aggressive looking. And then from there we can, you know, start getting into the nitty gritty details. Do we double clear it? Do we do this ramp coating? Do we do your cabin chassis? That's coming down the line end of June.
Middle of July.
Middle of July.
Middle of July.
Okay. So at that point, your chassis is coming in black, correct?
Yes, just
Okay.
basic black.
Okay. So really, since we're painting everything throughout, we don't have to worry about getting your color match done once the chassis comes in.
Because you'll
Pretty
do
much.
that.
Right.
You'll do that here.
Right. We'll just have to worry about the build. One thing that I
When
would
you go to the show.
I like it. Now, you know, talking about the ceramic coating, one thing that I have been doing with a lot of these is we've been coating the frame before the sleeper gets mounted off. Looks like Brad's here, so I'll go grab him. Brad, thank you. Appreciate
welcome.
you joining us.
How you doing,
How are you
Brad?
guys doing?
Hi.
I'm Brad.
I'm Larry.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Sarah.
All right. So this is the accessory wiring guru, and he speaks it much better than me.
So tell me about what you guys, project you guys
First
are looking for.
first off, we want to do a camera system.
Okay.
I'm thinking probably 6 to 7 cameras.
Yes,
Okay.
7 cameras.
And what's the primary purpose of the projects you've got going on?
Stereo system.
Stereo.
Stereo
Okay.
system, yes.
And then tell me a little bit about your music preferences and what
Well,
exactly.
I like rock and roll.
Perfect.
She likes rock and roll and country.
Okay.
So
Just gotta pay attention. You definitely want to make sure your paint's dry before you start doing this too. That helps. You'd be really sad. Spend all that time trying to make this paint job just to ruin it just because you got impatient, you know. You see how when I'm blading, the silver is leaving a lot more shavings than per se the red, just because it took so much more silver to cover the black than it did the red. You know, the red covered the black pretty easy, so the line buildup's nowhere near as high. Yeah, so the silver's a little bit thicker, so it's definitely important that we get it down more. Some of them I'll even go over twice just because I didn't feel like I pulled enough off on the first one.
And that'll keep that clear from puddling, huh?
Yeah, it definitely helps. Yeah, it helps with us not getting what we call pin runs or pin sags, from the too much millage building up on top of that line. Yeah. Plus, just overall, it's just a lot better looking paint job, you know. But that's the beauty of doing the double clear, because you know we blade these lines down pretty flat, and we clear it. We'll put 3 coats clear, and we'll sand that clear coat flat. Wow. You know? So then when you come back and do second clear, it's laying down like a sheet of glass. So you won't feel any of this. It's going to be buried underneath clear coat. It'll look good. Yeah, that's how you get the glass looking clear jobs.
Man, I
wish I had any accent work done.
I was wishing that this would be ready to go to Louisville just to see you guys.
Yeah.
This would have been a showstopper. I mean, of course, we got the Buffalo Bills going down, but.
Is he taking that to Louisville?
Oh, yeah.
Is it? I figured it was. Cool. Yeah.
Definitely. He's going to be in the booth and everything with it, yeah.
Excellent. I wasn't sure if he was going in there. I figured so, but a lot of those guys are still busy. And I know he's ready to get back on the road to get making money. So I don't.
Absolutely unreal, man.
So we've seen obviously a lot of vinographic installs and whatnot.
Right.
Don't get me wrong, they're absolutely awesome, especially when we do some of the partial wraps and whatnot, like we did with Waples and obviously the Hendersons and the Simple Stripes. Vinyl graphics are definitely cool, but the process behind this stuff is really fun to show off.
Yeah, I mean, this is really magistry, what's associated with what we're looking at now. The guys are up there, they're using razor blades on brand new paint, man. What's the process we got going on right now?
Okay, so basically what we do, we start, on this one specifically, we start with the black. We paint the whole thing one color. It all goes black. And then we get what we call paint mask. And it's like a non-sticky vinyl. It's got a little bit of grip to it, but it's not gonna be difficult to peel off.
Okay.
We put that all up and they're in 30-inch panels. So this one had 5 or 6 of them. 5. So in between every single one of those panels, we have to lay tape, we call them Band-Aids, because you'll end up with a small gap in between those panels.
Okay.
So as you can see, with all these stripes going down, there was a lot of Band-Aids on this one.
Right. Wow.
A lot of hand-laying tape. We had to adjust some lines just to make sure it hit the right places. And then we sprayed the red next, which that all gets covered up with paper after that paint dries. And then they sprayed the silver. Now what you're in right now, we call it tear down and repairs basically. So they peel all the paper and mask off. And they're running through with razor blades to get the edge of the line off where it builds up against that paint mask.
Right.
And that's what he's doing right now.
Wow.
Then after they go through and blade every single one of these lines, which there's a lot of them, they'll go through and do any small repairs where any paint blew out of the mask or just miscellaneous things happen. It's not a perfect world. We'll do those repairs and then it's ready for clear coat.
So, Noni, a lot of people don't even realize that sometimes you're doing, this is actual paint. This
Yes.
is not graphic here,
This
and a
is
lot of
not
people don't
graphics.
understand the difference between that.
And
Give
it-
them a little bit of an insight on what that actually means.
So basically everything on this is going to be under a layer of clear, and actually the other exciting thing about this one is that this is what we call a double clear.
Okay.
We'll put 3 coats of clear on this thing. We're going to take it back out of the booth. We're going to sand everything flat again. So there's always going to be a little bit of a line on this
Right.
when you clear over accent stripes because it's paint on top of paint. You have layers to it.
Correct.
So we buzz those lines down, then we put another 3 coats of clear on it.
Wow.
And then we sand it down to do the buff and polish. When we're done with this thing, it's going to be smooth as glass. You will not feel a single line.
Wow.
It also adds a depth to it,
Uh-huh.
which will make, believe it or not, this black in here, it's got a red shimmer behind it. So when you add that depth of clear and that sun's gonna hit it, it's gonna pop.
Now, initially, this was going to be one of the showpieces that went down to the Louisville Truck Show.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was. We've been talking about it for a while. I think Hendrix is a name that many people out there know.
Oh yes.
And
Oh yes.
this is their doozy of a truck.
So, with this, once again, this is a garage unit for the motorcycle.
The colors are actually designed to match with his Harley.
Oh, okay. Okay. So this is honestly going to be, according to Mr. Hendrix, one of his finale builds, correct?
He told me he wanted to build one show truck in his life, and that's what we're all working on doing together with ARI, and we're also going to be working with Nationwide on getting some fiberglass fenders for them, and
Oh, okay.
Auto Obsessions will be putting in a stereo system. So yeah, she's going to be a showpiece.
So will this truck be going to Louisville?
I don't think we'll be able to make it in time. We want to make sure that we spend enough time to do it right rather than rushing it
Right.
down to Louisville.
I'm hoping that we'll get a chance to see this, or the audience will get a chance to see it in person one day at some of the events.
Oh, for sure.
Because this is going to be not only a unit that has actual paint on it, but the interior and everything, ARI really did their thing, and by you all showing your true craftsmanship in this is
These guys have skill, don't they?
they do. They really, really do. I'm amazed. These are real surgeons here.
I saw you with your jaw dropped a little bit when I walked in here and you had been watching them do it.
Yeah, I was mesmerized. Just I'm like, oh my God, they use the razor blades on new paint.
Right.
You know? But
And they have skills. They absolutely have skills, and just wait till you see this thing done.
so Dominic, how much more longer do we have to wait before we actually roll this baby out and we can see it?
We'll probably end up clearing the first time around. We'll probably end up clearing tomorrow.
Okay.
And then we'll be early March when it goes back over to ARI. ARI will obviously have the lights and stainless and mounting the awning and some other miscellaneous things that they do and what they call second mounting
Right.
after doing a full skirted truck like this.
So I tell you what, then guys, what we're gonna do, we're gonna let these masters get back at it, and Dominic, we're gonna be following this one a little bit more in detail too.
Yep.
And once again, man, thank you for inviting us in and taking a
Of
look at
course,
some
thanks
of
for
the
coming
the
down. I
masters
really
coming at
appreciate
work.
it. I've been looking forward to showing this off.
And we got a whole lot more to show off.
Oh, yes, we do.
All right, buddy. Everybody, we'll be right back with Dominic and some more of the masters at work.
Thanks, Quinn.
About these trucks. Let's talk about what's sitting behind you guys. Okay, let's talk about this big, beautiful Volvo that's sitting behind us.
Yeah, nobody's paying attention to that.
Nobody's paying attention to that. Right? They watching us being silly right there, right? So let's talk about this. This is actually Larry Hendrix, beautiful Volvo. This we followed from the interview to
Yeah.
actually the
From
layout.
concept.
Yeah, the concept to what we have behind us. Anthony, this was one of your builds, or was it yours? One
of Brandon's builds.
One of your builds. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this one?
Well, it's Larry and Sarah Hendrix, very well known out there in the trucking industry.
Yes.
This will be their 8th new big bunk they built with us, and they went big and bad on this one.
Oh yes.
They always drove Kenworths their whole life. They wanted something a little more comfortable in their older years in the trucking industry, so they decided to go with a Volvo this time. They're very excited about it, so that's what we have here is a Volvo V&L 300. It's sitting on a 378-inch wheelbase, 240-inch sleeper, with a 52-inch garage on the back for his Harley, and 190-inch interior sleeper.